Oh my god, I fucking love having my own space after spending a few days in hostels and stuff where I had to I mean, people are usually pretty fine in hostels and stuff, but I just don't like sleeping in the same room as a bunch of strangers. You never know who's gonna snore. You never know. You know, I just don't like it. And I did it for a long time, but I'm gonna be 50 soon, so I'm ready to treat myself.
How do you bring your shadow into the light without letting it consume you? The answer lies in a central concept of Jungian psychology. The self.
I've been into Jungian psychology lately.
That is exactly what we are going to explore. If the persona is the mask and the shadow is everything you have repressed, then the self, the true self, is what exists.
Where I gotta find my freaking.
It is the totality of your psyche, the harmonious fusion between who you truly are and who you show to the world.
Oh, these songs so bad.
That the purpose of life is not simply to follow a path predefined by society, but rather to become whole, to discover your true essence, and to live according to it. This process of self-discovery and integration is what he called individuation. But finding the self is not something that happens by chance. It is not something that simply appears one day in front of you, like a magical epiphany. The self does not reveal itself to those who are not willing to face the truth about themselves.
Plus, I was starting to feel a little bit congested, and I don't want to cough on anyone.
It is a confrontation with everything you have been taught to hide. A reconciliation between your most authentic desires and the restrictions imposed by the outside.
I care about
the greatest
things I don't want to
true self.
subject people to my
fear of losing the identity you have built over the years. Fear of realizing that many of your choices were not true. Fear of facing aspects of your personality that you have denied.
That's what I'm looking for.
This fear causes many people to never find the self. They spend their entire lives clinging to the persona, pretending to be something they are not, while their shadow operates behind the scenes, sabotaging their chances of genuine happiness. But when you begin to integrate your shadow and question the masks you...
Nå skal jeg vise deg hvordan lage en enkel panna cotta. Og så på toppen av det steker kraftig, intens kaffe fra London, som en fantastisk kaffe.
What am I looking for? What am I looking for?
Jeg trenger en trimmer som håndterer hver detalj som en følge. Finn det rette brownlight-tøyet til din stil.
Yeah, it's nice here in Oslo. It's a nice city. I got a little bit frustrated a couple days ago, but it's a good city.
You wear. Something incredible happens. You start to feel a kind of freedom you have never experienced before. You discover that you no longer need to pretend to be someone you are not. You realize
Everybody wants to rule the world.
To make decisions that make sense to you, and not just to meet the expectations of others. And the most interesting part? The closer you get to yourself, the more life begins to make sense. The anxieties and frustrations that once seemed inexplicable begin to have a clear root. You understand why certain patterns repeat, why certain situations why certain relationships never worked out. You start to realize that throughout your life, there was something inside you trying to show you the way. But you were too busy trying to fit in to listen. But there is an important detail. The path to finding yourself cannot be walked in isolation. fundamental elements the unconscious and the archetypes that shape the way we think, feel, and behave. If you do not understand these hidden forces, you will never be able to fully comprehend who you are. And that is what we will explore next. The human mind is not just what we see and consciously understand. Most of our psyche is hidden, operating at a deep and invisible level. Jung believed that to find the true self, it is not enough to look at our rational thoughts and daily decisions. We must dive into the depths of the unconscious, for it is there that the hidden patterns that shape our identity are found. But what exactly is in this unconscious? Beyond your shadow, beyond repressed memories and unrecognized desires, there is something even more fundamental: archetypes.
Archetypes.
That the human psyche is not a blank slate. On the contrary, we are born with universal mental patterns and emotions, regardless of culture or time. He called this the collective unconscious. And it is from the collective unconscious that archetypes emerge, primordial images that influence the way we perceive the world and ourselves. If you have ever felt an inexplicable attraction to certain stories, myths, or symbols, it is because archetypes are acting within you. They appear in fairy tales, movies, religions, and, most importantly, in your own dreams and behaviors. For example, the hero is an archetype present in virtually all cultures. It represents one who faces challenges, overcomes obstacles, and seeks transformation. But there is also the wise one, who symbolizes knowledge and introspection.
I'm gonna get some cool pants, I think. I haven't worn pants in a couple months because I need some.
And the most interesting part? You do not choose which archetypes influence your life. They within you without your awareness. The problem arises when you identify only with one archetype and ignore the others.